Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Coffee with Tea. I'm your host, the amazing Tea Street. Today's topic: don't skip the process of becoming the unicorn, part 8. This is a series I started last week. There are 12 parts to the series because there are 12 traits of what is known as the unicorn. The series is based off the book Become the Unicorn by William Vanderbilt. And this book has just been really helpful to me in several areas of my life. And so I thought I would share just the highlights, the 12 traits of a unicorn with my audience. And so I've embarked on this journey, and we are on trait number 8 today. Trait number 8, but I'll do a really quick recap and review of what we've covered so far. So far, we've covered the first trait of a unicorn is the fast, the people who make fast decisions. The authentic demonstrates transparency, honesty, and consistency in behavior. The agile adapts and pivots quickly when conditions change. Woo, how important is that? The problem solver. Everybody wants one on their team. They focus on finding the problems instead of placing blame or telling us that it's raining. They find umbrellas and how to make them. The anticipator plans ahead and prevents fires before they start. If you are thinking ahead, you can plan ahead. The prepared. You arrive early and you are ready when you get there. You show up ready so you don't have to get ready. Yesterday, we talked about the self aware. You understand both your strengths, but also your blind spots so that you can have greater impact. And today is probably one of my favorites, the curious. I tell my students on the very first day of Pathways to Progress, P2P, I tell them, and if they were on here, I would say to them, who are the most successful people on the planet? They will say to you, people who are curious. Because what I tell them is that Bill Gates isn't smarter than them. He's more curious. Bill Gates was a C student who dropped out of college and founded Microsoft because of curiosity, not necessarily because of intellect. That's not to say that C students aren't smart. It just means that he wasn't driven by some things, and he wasn't driven by an A. He was driven by curiosity. The curious, always asking questions and eager to learn new things. Y'all, I am a perpetual learner. I want to learn something new every day. When I ran a program called Village to Child, I used to stand up at the end and I would say to the students, tell me one thing that you learned in this day that you did not already know. And I would tell them you should make it your business to learn something new every day that you are on the earth so that you go to the grave full of knowledge. And so curious people are always asking questions and they always want to learn new things. As you know, I'm trying to give you action steps. What are the action steps to the curious? Read one new book per month. The book that I'm reading right now, I always like, T, what are you reading? The book that I'm reading and doing on Audible, I'm reading it, the hard copy, and listening to it on Audible so that I'm retaining it all, is a book called Hind's Feet on High Places that a friend gave to me. And I'm reading that book and I am loving the analogy that is contained therein. So that's my book for this month. But every month I'm trying to read something new. I reread over the last month. I reread Become the Unicorn, which prepared me for this series. The curious are always asking questions like why and what if. Well, why are we doing it that way? I know we've always done it, but why? Is there a reason? Because if there isn't a reason and there's a better method, can't we take the better method? Because generally, people who are inquisitive, who have lots of questions, they talk about the scientific inquiry. It's the people who have the ability to keep asking why. We're going to get to the cure for cancer because some doctors are out there and some researchers are out there continually asking the question, why? And what if? What if we didn't do it this way? What if we tried a new way? One of the things I do, I try to learn my craft by attending webinars. I attend conferences. I attend places where knowledge is being departed. I learn a lot about education by going to education conferences. I learn about student engagement, student leadership, and student activities by going to student engagement, student activity, and student leadership conferences. How do you learn a thing except you immerse yourself in it and you avail yourself of the opportunity to always learn? I learn more about God by spending more time in His Word, by listening to some of my favorite teachers on YouTube. Christine Kane is one of my favorites. Priscilla Shire, is another one of my favorites. I'm listening to people to learn the things that I don't know that I want to know more about. I'm a naturally curious person. I am absolutely a unicorn in this sense. I shadow people all the time. One of my favorite things to do to become a better speaker is go listening to other speakers. I love good speakers. I always give good speakers their props. One of my favorite speakers is a woman named Caroline Bennett. Caroline Inspires. One of my other favorite speakers, Harriet Turk. One of my other favorite speakers, Layman Hicks. I go listen to their stuff all the time. I'm always sharpening my craft. Recently, someone told me at a conference in California, she's a speaker too. T, I love watching you speak because you know the craft. You can switch on a dime. You know how to bring kids in. Y'all, it is a craft. And I'm always learning and I always want to be better. Every time I step on a stage, it is my goal to be better than the last time I stepped on a stage. I did the same conference 4 times and it was a different group of kids every session. And every session, I did the same speech, but they all got 4 different speeches because something that I learned in the first one, I did better in the second one. When I learned something in that second one, man, I'm like, I'm about to take this third one to a whole other level. By the time I got to the fourth one, I almost didn't recognize the speech. I'm naturally curious about the world around me. And so people who are curious are absolutely part of the unicorn tribe. So today, the curious. This is part 8. I'm the amazing T Street. There's absolutely positively nothing amazing in me. That's not in each and every one of you. So whatever you do, don't skip the process of becoming the unicorn. Today, become the curious. Have an amazing day.